The Witch and the Stranger. In the days before his power was bound, Paka had been reckless, his mind intoxicated by love. His judgment had been obscured by the beguiling allure of Akina, a woman who embodied his every fascination. Older women had always been his weakness, and Akina was the epitome of his desires. He had first glimpsed her amidst the vibrant splendor of the festival of first fruits. Her movements were a dance of grace unmatched by any other, entrancing Paka beyond reason. However, one ill-fated night, Jabali discovered his secret. His heart had been dominated by his affection for Akina, muddling his thoughts. The memory of that moment haunted him like a ghost, a stark reminder of his own foolishness and recklessness. Determined to undo this curse, to reclaim the semblance of his former self, Paka embarked on a quest fueled by whispers of a woman, a witch capable of drowning her entire village in a torrent of wrath. He had spent many months scouring distant villages, seeking a remedy, yet each attempt proved futile. When the traditional healers learned he was bound by the guardian of the forest herself, fear drove them away, reluctant to arouse her anger. "Cowards," he muttered under his breath, disheartened by their timidity. The audacity of that forest guardian. He had glimpsed her, disguised as a little girl, during the ceremony. He recognized his fortune that she had refrained from extracting the lion from within him, contrary to the villagers' suggestions. Within the forest, a code of conduct prevailed, and Paka had abided by it faithfully, refraining from extinguishing a human life. The audacity. He seethed inwardly. And that Jabali. His attempt to roar in fury morphed into a pitiful cough. Rage simmered within him, fueled by his disdain for Jabali, a sentiment that had ignited since their first meeting. Discovering Jabali's union with Akina only added fuel to the fire of his fury. Approaching the desolated remnants of the witch's village, Paka detected the lingering traces of magic that still clung to the air. The witch's power was undeniable, an awe-inspiring force that resonated with his own desires. The days when he could track effortlessly felt like a distant memory, and he yearned for the swiftness he once commanded. Day after day, he pursued the elusive trail, drawing closer to its source. Excitement coursed through his veins, a sensation he hadn't experienced in an eternity. Nyala was engrossed in tending to her meticulously groomed herbal garden. Her dwelling stood apart from the cluster of huts, offering a vantage point overlooking the village. "Hello, Paka," she greeted without turning, her voice carrying a sense of knowing. 4 days. She had sensed his approach, his presence growing stronger with each passing moment. Paka was momentarily taken aback, caught off guard by her perceptiveness. Slowly, she turned to face him, and as their eyes met, his eyes widened in awe. Her beauty transcended his expectations, a captivating combination of power and youth that left him questioning the mysteries of her existence. "Are you all right, Paka?" Nyala inquired, her tone laced with both concern and a hint of amusement. While familiar with the reaction her presence often elicited from male strangers, the genuine astonishment in his eyes was a rarity she found herself appreciating. I need your help," Paka finally stammered, his voice carrying the weight of desperation. "Ah, the age-old plea," Nyala retorted with a touch of sarcasm. "Don't they all?" Paka's mind raced, his thoughts entwined with her story, her strength, and the shared experience of being ostracized for their differences. "Not like that," he implored, his sincerity evident. "I'm truly sorry for what you endured in your former village. My transformation abilities were cruelly stripped from me by a malevolent chief who sought to break me. I believe you understand the pain of being cast aside for being different. Please, Nyala, help me." Her gaze softened, the deep well of empathy within her stirred by his words. She had walked a similar path all her life, and felt the isolation that came with being unique. As she met the eyes of this enigmatic stranger, a resolve solidified within her. "I will help you," she stated with a quiet determination. Moved by her willingness, Paka's customary pride gave way. He knelt at her feet, a gesture that surprised Nyala, who had heard tales of the pompous shapeshifter, a far cry from the humble men now before her. Her heart swelled at the sight, a testament to the power of humility and vulnerability. "Thank you," Paka whispered, his voice thick with gratitude and a hint of tears. "Save your thanks for later," Nyala replied gently. "First, I need to assess the magic that binds you." With a sense of purpose, Nyala led Paka into the interior of her humble hut. "Lie here," she instructed, gesturing toward the bed that occupied the space. Paka complied, resisting the impulse to make a light-hearted joke about the pace of their newfound acquaintance. He understood the gravity of his situation and the importance of maintaining his focus. Paka's well-built frame caught Nyala's attention, a silent acknowledgement of his physical prowess. Handsome and strong, he was an imposing presence. Her touch traversed his chest, her expression growing somber. "The guardian of the forest," she whispered, her voice carrying a blend of reverence and concern. Turning her gaze back to his, Nyala's tone turned earnest as she delved into the heart of the matter. "Paka, I implore you to tell me, why did the guardian bind you?" Her question hung in the air like a shroud of mystery, a puzzle piece yearning to be placed. Nyala's familiarity with the guardian's power ran deep. Having lived amongst the caves and shadows, she had sensed the tendrils of the guardian's magic. The guardian's watchful gaze extended over her while she slept, a silent guardian of her sanctuary. No creature of the wild dared trespass the cave's threshold without first confronting the guardian's might. In the harshest of winters, when prey was scarce, she would awaken to find the bounty of a rabbit or antelope placed near her cave's mouth. Nyala recognized the gesture as the guardian's doing, even though the entity herself remained veiled, unseen. Nyala knew she owed her life to the guardian, a debt she could never repay. "Paka." Nyala's voice quivered with urgency, a subtle tremor betraying her emotional turmoil. "Why did the guardian bind you?" Her inquiry hung heavily, the connection between Paka and the guardian waiting to be unveiled. Paka's revelation caught Nyala off guard. "The chief," he began, revealing a bond that had transcended time, entwining the fates of the guardian and the village leader since his youth. "She did it for him," Paka explained, exposing a profound connection that had shaped his destiny. With sincerity blazing in his eyes, Paka implored, "Nyala, I beseech you. Ever since the lion within me was bound, I've existed as a mere shadow of myself. You are my last hope." His plea hung in the air, his vulnerability offered with a purity that touched Nyala's heart. Drawing a deep breath, Nyala weighed the gravity of the situation. "The magic that binds you is formidable, beyond what I can dispel alone," she admitted, the enormity of the task evident in her eyes. "I will need the assistance of a friend." "Get some rest," Nyala advised, her voice a soothing murmur, and almost instantly, Paka drifted into the realm of dreams. As noon broke the next day, Paka awoke, midday sunlight filtering into the hut. He felt a pang of embarrassment. The exhaustion from days of relentless travel had overtaken him, stealing his regenerative strength. "Good afternoon," Nyala's voice carried a playful tone, her eyes dancing with mirth. "Slept in, did we?" she teased. Paka sheepishly rubbed his eyes. "I apologize. I didn't mean to sleep for so long." "We have a meeting at sundown," Nyala said to him, the seriousness returning to her gaze. Her morning had been spent conferring with her friend, Mwamba, about Paka's plight. Mwamba, like Nyala, had experienced abandonment and pain, a shared connection that had forged an unbreakable bond between them. The prospect of an alliance with a lion shapeshifter, someone who could understand their struggles, held a unique appeal. "Mwamba, I comprehend your hesitation, your reluctance," Nyala had implored, her voice carrying a mixture of earnestness and desperation. The genesis of Mwamba and Nyala's friendship had occurred within the depths of the forest. Their chance encounter had left Mwamba awestruck by Nyala's innate gifts. Amidst her spirited tales, he had recognized a kindred spirit, a soul marked by exceptional abilities. Their connection had grown stronger over the years, Mwamba visiting Nyala frequently, often bringing her the latest fashions and treasures from the marine world. Their bond had deepened, Nyala becoming both a daughter and a confidant to Mwamba. And then, Nyala had shared her excitement. A reunion with her village was on the horizon. Mwamba's heart had swelled with happiness for her, only to shatter when reality failed to meet her hopes. Now, confronted with Paka's plea, Mwamba's resolve wavered. "Paka, okay, I'll help you," he relented, a hint of reluctance lingering in his voice. "I'll be there at sundown." Mwamba's presence was a formidable one, his imposing figure matched by an enigmatic countenance. As he entered the hut at sundown, a surge of pride warmed Nyala's heart. She couldn't help but contemplate introducing Mwamba as her father the next time, realizing how effortlessly his presence commanded attention. Paka sprang to his feet upon Mwamba's arrival, extending a respectful greeting. "I am Paka," he introduced himself. "Are you ready, young man?" Mwamba's voice carried an air of authority, a question loaded with expectation. "Yes, I am, sir," Paka responded with an air of humility, though the unspoken truth hung between them. Paka's age spanned centuries, far beyond what his youthful appearance suggested. In the shadowed embrace of night, they embarked on a journey of silence. the darkness enveloped them, guiding their steps until they reached a moonlit clearing. Spring had painted the landscape with a vibrant tapestry of wildflowers, their fragrance infusing the air with a sense of serenity. "Lay down," Mwamba commanded gently, and Paka complied without hesitation. In the soft illumination of moonlight, the duo began their chant. As their voices intertwined with the night's whispers, Paka felt himself being carried away, transported into the ethereal realm of dreams. Within this surreal domain, Paka called out, his voice a delicate plea that bore the weight of longing. "Akina, Akina." Mwamba couldn't resist a chuckle, his laughter dancing on the breeze. "So, your boyfriend has a girlfriend, huh?" he teased, a glint of amusement in his eyes. "Yet here we stand, gambling with our lives and daring the fury of the Guardian," Mwamba stated, his head shaking in solemn acknowledgement. "He's not my boyfriend," Nyala responded, her tone tinged with a hint of disappointment that Mwamba didn't miss. Mwamba's countenance grew grave. "Through this action, we've aligned ourselves in opposition to the Guardian and her enigmatic powers. We're setting loose a lion with intentions known only to the divine. Are you resolute in your decision to proceed?" Nyala paused, deliberating, before ultimately nodding her consent. "Very well. But know this, Nyala," Mwamba's tone carried a weight of caution. "There lies a lesson at the culmination of this journey, and its revelation may not be without its challenges." When the first rays of dawn painted the sky, Paka stirred from his slumber. Mwamba had departed, leaving behind a sense of accomplishment and mystery. When Paka stirred from slumber, he sensed the gentle caress of the breeze through his mane, a sensation that reverberated with newfound vitality. He could hear the steady rhythm of Nyala's heartbeat resonating like a soothing melody. Power surged within him, coursing through his veins like a mighty river, and with a swift movement, he sprang to his feet. Nyala's surprise flickered across her features, a testament to the transformation she had witnessed. Lowering his head in a gesture of profound gratitude, Paka conveyed his appreciation to Nyala without uttering a word. With a surge of determination, he broke into a run, each step a testament to the resurgence of his strength. As he gained momentum, his voice rang out, carried by the wind itself, as he called the name of his rival, Jabali. In that resounding roar, Paka proclaimed his readiness, his intention to replace Jabali as husband and chief, to claim what he believed was rightfully his. Above, the clouds converged, a gathering of ethereal forces signaling the arrival of a new dawn, not just in the sky but also within the very fabric of Paka's destiny. Thank you for watching our story, The Witch and the Stranger, and we hope you enjoyed it. What lessons did you draw from this story? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and be part of the tribe. Thank you for watching The Tales of the Savannah. We will see you next time, in the Savannah.